this, we're finishing up this commercial wrap. To wrap this whole side and then throw a decal on the top, but for the most part, this is already see, we can just tack down. Go ahead and start this wrap. Sorry about the noise. One, two, three, four. What's up, chat? I got any questions about wrapping, let me know. Throw a like in the chat for me if you can, so we get the chat boosted up. time no see. No idea what you're talking about, bro. Love the stream. Just quickly, any tips on how I can get my dad to... Oh, Dale deleted it. Must be some weird stuff. What's up, Dale? Y'all, yeah, y'all weird. Dale, we got some weirdos in the chat, bro. Yeah, something like that. I guess it's like a camper converted into it's a camper like converted into a food truck. It's like an ice cream business. Pretty cool. But I don't know if they come like this or not. I'm not sure. But this one, this was brand new. Like, still had the plastic on it and everything. So if this is something that got converted, it got converted right before they brought it here. Which is interesting. I'm wondering, are these cheaper to make than the regular like food truck serving trailers? I got a third brake light right here in the middle. I'll show y'all how I work around it without doing anything. You know, you got two tail lights coming up on the tail lights now. Second tripod, bring it in a little bit closer so y'all can see how I work around those. Overall, still an easy job though, just really intricate details and peel back and stuff. Alright, so we got brake lights right here. Appreciate it, man. Bring y'all in a little bit closer. Exactly how we do this one. Just grab a razor real quick. All right, so we take it off with blue tape. You normally come in here, you know, the blue tape is pretty much the tag reducer. I'm gonna cut it a little wide at the top, but I'm gonna cut it right at the edge on the bottom. That way if I need to stretch it down, I can. So, circle out. That ain't gonna be perfect, but try to circle out. Try to stretch it down over it a little bit. You definitely gonna need heat for this. So what I'm gonna do to prevent these wrinkles, go ahead and soften the wrinkles on the top. Those are gonna dissipate, go away. Right? And then squeeze it down to that edge. And then I'm gonna give it a nice little pull on the bottom half, but I'm gonna heat around it first. Once the vinyl around it is pretty soft, try to glass it out from the very bottom of the side right here. Give it a little pull. Tighten that down. Now that I got that, work out these wrinkles on the side. So basically I want to create a mold around this thing. So if the film's running this way, just press it down right here to get rid of the wrinkles. I'm going to go around this thing, probably with my finger just to make sure I'm laying the vinyl in that little recess spot. This vinyl right here, wrinkling up on me a little bit. Just try to get my finger underneath here. And I can pull it towards the headlight to get those wrinkles to go away. Go ahead and lay that down. Right there on the bottom when I did that. Straight lift it. I'm gonna move my light to this side so y'all can see a little bit better. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Got a light on this side. Alright. Now I can actually see what I'm doing. Like I said, just want to create an area where the tail light is off by itself. And while that's soft, I go around and just kind of stretch the outer edge of it a little bit. Just relieve some of the tension and start to feed my vinyl in a little bit closer. Don't worry if you start to get a bunch of little wrinkles forming around as you get closer. It's just because you stretched it out. You just want to go back around it with the heat. Relax the wrinkles again. Pick it up. Feed the wrinkles away from this area, right and left. That's how you kill wrinkles. Just feed them right and left so you can't see them anymore. So you want to get it as close to the tail light as possible. Same thing on the other side. Just give it a little heat. Lift the vinyl up a little bit. I can feed it in closer. Alright. So once we got it as close as it will go, now we want to start trimming a little bit, put this vinyl away. So not all the way at the bottom yet. You still got to come through and do your hard tuck. The squeegee is just like my soft tuck. Soft tuck always leaves vinyl exposed. Cut away a little bit of it. We can lift it off the edge here and then tuck it a little deeper. Now it's getting tucked underneath the tail light a little bit. Just with your plastic tool, just bend it out a little bit and tuck it underneath. Just want to do that all the way around. Not lifting the vinyl, you're just lifting it up off the blue tape. Remember, the blue tape acts as like a tack reducer. Just going to tuck that underneath. Go back and heat. You just want to check all the way around, make sure there's no air like bubbled back out. Got one small one down here. Whenever you go to cut it, if the area bubble back out, it can show a sliver of paint. So I'm actually gonna get a brand new blade. Take this one out. Get a little dull. I get a sharper cut. I always pull that area that you trim off really slow, because sometimes you don't get a good cut, and they'll like pull the vinyl out of the panel, and you won't be able to fix that. You just want to go back behind it, tuck everything down. Then I'm off to do the same thing. Bring this light down a little bit. It's all over here. You said what? Oh, I think it was I think the vacuum's running. Can you still hear me? I'll turn on my mic. I never turned on the mic, bro. Appreciate it. Should be better now, right? All right, so this time I'm gonna trim a little bit more out of the top. Get my heat gun. So what's up, Dominique? All right, so we just want to heat all the way around. Lay that down. Heat a little this way also. Yeah, I thought I never turned on the mic, bro. Be like that sometimes. Ready to go today. This is the last job of the day. I had a bunch of stuff this morning. Did like some perforated British flag vinyl. I wrapped on the back of like somebody's like rear windshield. Then had to wrap some mirrors. And now I'm just finishing up this. Wrapping this back piece. Throwing the decal. And then this one would be good to hit the door. But again, we just want to close off. Close off all the air so that we can work everything towards the middle. It's going to go around. Heat this area. Heat this area. And push that in. All right, so now that we got it, we got our soft cut. It'd be easier to remove the lights first. Not all these lights come off the car easy. Yeah, if it's a regular car, cool, but some of these trailers, even if you remove them, they still have wires. And I'm no electrician, so I'm not doing that. Ignore the guy who say that's how pros do it, because he probably has no idea what he's talking about. Never wrapped a car in his life. Yeah, no. everybody has their assumptions, but this is how it's done in 99% of the wrap shops, especially for commercial vehicles. I actually did take this middle one off, but there's still a wire on it. I'll show you how I work around that one with the disassembly and having to deal with a wire. But for this one, you would still have to cut a hole out, stretch the hole, pull the light through the hole, and then put it back, so it's no point. You're just better off just working around it with blue tape. But yeah, to the unexperienced eye, or the unexperienced person who doesn't wrap, it would seem easier just to take everything off. And I disassemble a lot, so I only disassemble what needs to be disassembled though. Alright, so now we got that one. Go back to doing this install. And I'll show y'all this last tail light I was talking about. Or it isn't even a tail light, it's a license plate holder. Back over here. Finish our squeegee. Bright as it goes. Yep. Like the light is a lot less bright than it was before. Oh well. Alright, so laying everything into these gaps. I don't know why out of nowhere my light just got less bright, but who knows, probably time for a new one. Squeegee down, and the last one is gonna be somewhere right here. So again, I'll show you how that's done in a second. Now we can bring y'all in a little bit closer. And we can do this last one. Just look under here and see where it's at. Okay. So I'm squeegeeing on top of it. This is the glue that it lays down on. And I'm trying to get an idea of where I'm actually able to cut. So this is going to be the area I'm able to cut. Cut this little piece out. As I said, the wires are still connected. What I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna open this right back up. I'm gonna distort this circle a little bit. Gotta make sure your edges are round so it doesn't rip on you. I'm gonna heat it. The heat allows me to distort it a little bit. Then my light that's down here, I'm gonna bring it out. And you ask, why do I not just disassemble because you got all these lights that still go into the truck. You can't just snip these off and and rewire them because I'm not an electrician, like I said. So I heat it. The film's not distorted anymore. It goes back to its original form, and then that's the process. So this one I fully disassembled this because it came with a bunch of pieces that I couldn't really work around. Stuff like this. But I created my hole so I don't have no seams anywhere. And whenever I put it back together, it's going to be on top of that. So now I can squeegee that down. But if I would have did that to the tail lights, I would have had to create a massive hole, try to pull the tail light through. It just doesn't make sense. You're better off just doing the blue tape trick for that piece. So there's a method to the madness. Anything that can be disassembled normally gets disassembled. But with these trailers, they don't build them. They're not optimized to be just disassembled like that. It's not a car. It doesn't need to be serviced, so they don't make it like easy to be disassembled. That answers the people's question that was asking. If they're still here. Sometimes you got the negative Nancy's who just come in to talk junk or be weird. That's our age of social media. If y'all like the content, you feel like you're getting some value from it, go ahead, throw a like in the chat. If you could, support a small creator and we could get the chat boosted up a little bit more. Now this is in the way, so I'm gonna get some tape it up to the trailer so it's out of my way. All right. Y'all still watching, been watching for a second. Returning viewer, just know I do lives like this all the time. Basically, if you're interested in rapping or you're trying to shadow someone, that's the sole reason I go live. If you wanted to learn anything else about rapping, I got a page with a bunch of long form videos that you can watch. I do shorts of all the jobs that I complete, which is normally about 2 to 3 jobs a week. So you'll learn how to rap anything from guns, your refrigerator, your car, camper, food trucks, semi trucks, cars, whatever it may be, whatever comes across my lap, and it's a lot of different stuff that comes across my lap. So then if y'all have anything specific you're trying to look for a video on, let me know. It helps me with the type of content that I put out, and I can kind of cater to something you're trying to get rap, and like you're having issues trying to figure it out. I can help you out with that. But right now, just finishing up this. Basically, you're just pushing the wrinkles side to side. Got a bunch of wrinkles that came right there. And whenever you get closer to the bottom of the recess area, you just feed it straight down so that it sits in that recess area and it doesn't bubble up. You get it in the recess, straight down, and push the rest of the vinyl outwards inwards, back outwards. That's how you fight the wrinkles. Once you get close to the bottom again, just push it down into the recessed area. Get a bunch of wrinkles forming up that you can't fight, and you want to go with the heat and soften it up. Once you get it softened up, you gotta let it cool for a second, and then you can go squeegee it side to side again. Close to the recess, just going straight down. Pretty easy, pretty easy. Commercial jobs pay double what normal color change jobs pay. Only difference is you get one chance with these, and all the the color changes for a car, you get a 75-foot roll of vinyl. So if you mess up, you get to redo it. With this, if you mess up, you have to reorder the material. So typically, if you're looking to start this as a business, pretty much a color change on a car is going to be like $2,500, and the material cost is going to be about $750. This is if you have a shop. You could charge cheaper prices to combat with trying to get clients and stuff if you're working out of your garage. But this is street overhead cost per job. Probably drag another, I don't know, like $500 out of your pocket. So you're looking at $1,250 and a $3,000 job. That leaves you with what, $1,750? So that's what would go in your pocket from 1 week. If you took 1 week on a car, and it's possible to wrap 2 cars in 1 week. If you were doing that, then the overhead cost per job would be a little bit lower too. So, just with that template, which is like off of sedans, you can see a path to reaching like 100K a year pretty easy once you get experienced at wrapping. Then you got commercial jobs, something like this, where it's pretty much the same thing, but commercials take half the time, and you could charge them like time and a half for labor. So this job is also, I think this job is $3,500. Materials might have been $1,000, and then $2,500. Let's take out the $500 for the overhead cost. So now you got $2,000 in your pocket, and a job like this can be done in a day if you're experienced. If you want to take your time, a day and a half. But I could have finished all this yesterday. I just felt like going home because I didn't come into work until 1 o'clock. So pretty good money if it's something you're looking to do. Like I said, I got all the tutorials. I even got the path to reaching 100K wrapping. I made a video about that on my YouTube page, so you can go back and watch that. If you run out of content, I post all of these lives, and you can see me how I work on cars in real time versus just the videos that are edited and clipped out. Some of the good stuff, just so it's like able to be viewed or consumed by everybody. You can watch the lives because it's just raw footage of wrapping, and you can get like really a sense of how to actually do it. So I got any more questions about anything else, just let me know. Want to quote on your car? Want to go in depth about what I just talked about? Ask me something. So I'm not talking to myself. I can give y'all some gems real quick before I get off live. anything at all. And it could be business related too. Taxes, how to retain or how to get clientele, how to make your video. Nope. Yeah, these lives are normally dead, man. People love to watch car installs.
What a commercial wrap! I want to see this.
This is where the money's at, honestly. These little bolts. Instead of trying to squeegee those, I normally just heat them up, press them down with my thumb first. Gets all the air from around them, so I don't even have to worry about like trying to work out air and stuff like that. You don't need a Rolly Pro. They're nice, but you could just use your fingers. It looks like the bolts are all the way along the bottom here, so just heat it up, press it down with your thumb, squeegee the air from around it. Heat it up, press it down with your thumb. Pretty simple. If y'all got a car, you're just curious how much it costs to get it wrapped, let me know. Or what you need to get your own personal car wrapped, like if you're trying yourself. Talk about that too. If y'all got anything, I'll answer it when I come back to that side. Bunch of wrinkles right here to fight. Oh, that's the last panel too. Cool. Just glass it down to my fingers. I don't have to worry about fighting wrinkles. Just pull it right over the bottom edge. Everything from there. Just get squeegeed out. A little bit more heat. Vinyl getting hot pretty quick. Alright, so that side's done. How important is business cards when you it helps boost RJ an hour? Alright, so how important is business cards when you out shopping, running errands? Have you gotten any customers? You know, honestly, with business cards, the only way you really get customers is if you have a car that's wrapped and they're like, oh, I like your paint job. And then you're like, oh no, it's wrapped. And they're like, oh, cool, do you got a business card? Or other than that, you know, my van is wrapped in a crazy design. I'm sure you probably seen it, Dale. But you know, when people see my van, they'll just come up to me and ask me for a business card. So I'd say business cards aren't like extremely important anymore. It's like one of those old things, like, you know,
like a newspaper or something like that, you're better off just getting a dot card. Unless you're gonna unless you're like damn near going to businesses and just leaving your card everywhere on people's windshield and stuff like that. If you're gonna actively go out and try to find clients, then a business card is nice. But if you're just having one in case somebody runs into you, a dot card is cool. And then maybe like a stack of like 200 business cards just in case, which I have those, and I'll probably handed out like 15 of them. Now sometimes if you have like clients and they want to like tell people about you, sometimes they'll want a business card from you, so you can give your clients like 10 cards a piece or something like that, and they'll go promote for you. Like all of my family has my business cards because I have wrapped all of my family's cars, so whenever people ask, they just hand them my business card. My mom and my aunt have gotten me a lot of business just from their cars being wrapped. But it starts with something being wrapped. If you want people to ask you about it out in public, you got to have your personal vehicle wrapped, you know, your little company vehicle, whatever it may be. They're going to ask you where you got it done, and then you could be like, oh, I did it myself. Here's my business card. So that's my take on that. At the end of the day, business cards are pretty cheap. You could design your own business card on Canva. That's what I did. And then I printed it out on Canva also. You don't have to pay anybody to do it for you. Nowadays, you get AI to create anything for you, so shouldn't be paying anybody for that stuff. I'd say what's more important is having your website or social media or stuff like that set up so that when people go to take a look, people want to know. Like if I'm just some random dude handing out a vinyl wrap business card, they know there's a lot of people in the vinyl wrap industry that are trash. We've seen that. That's like the thing nowadays. People are like scared to get their cars wrapped by certain people, so you need to build an online presence with like quality jobs and stuff, high quality pictures, high quality videos, and that's going to help people be comfortable shopping with you or trusting you, you know, as an installer to do their car correctly. That's what's that's the most important thing. So you can get your wraps from a couple of places, but the main supplier I use is metrorestyling.com. That's for like my color change film. If I'm doing something like this, a custom printed wrap, I get it from my sponsor or my job, wherever I'm sponsored and I work for, weprintraps.com. They could create designs for you. They could print out custom prints. I could put your face right here if that's what you want. Like you can do anything with a custom print wrap. But like I said, for the standard color change stuff, you want to go to metrorestyling.com. And they have all the good films like Pass Film, which is 3M, Avery, Oracle, stuff like that. They typically don't hold your Chinese film, the stuff that only lasts like a year or two. That's going to be your Tiny Bot, Vinyl Frog, you know, all those crazy brands. They have really nice colors, like don't get me wrong, but they just don't last for a really long time. So now I'm just trimming off these edges. I'm gonna actually cut this bottom first. We're just trimming the outside edges of everything right now. Sliding the blade along the bottom at no overhang. And then I'll come back with my hard tucking tool and make sure everything's laid all the way into these cracks before I give it the final cut. So you always want to trim, tuck as deep as you can, and then cut. Cool. What I'm saying is I should make my car attention to attract. Yeah. So you got to do something crazy. You can't just go like satin black on your car and expect everybody to ask you about your car and you get clients. It's got to be like, oh, it's like 3 different colors with a camo on it, or it's got to be like a crazy color that people haven't seen, like the color shift where it switches from gray to blue to yellow, stuff like that in the sun. That type of stuff, people will be like, what the heck is that? Like, it's kind of like everything's dramatic, you know? It's got to be dramatic. And that's what's going to get you the attention. And that's what's going to get people asking questions. It's not necessarily like how much I like my car. It's like how crazy can I make my car look so that it gets attention. My first time I wrapped my BMW, this is what it looked like. So I did a two-tone, had RJ wraps on it. It's basically like a race livery, half black, half red. It got so much attention. Everybody had to ask me like, is that a paint job? And I'm like, no, it's vinyl. And I probably got like 20 clients the year that I wrapped my car like that. And then after I did that, I bought a company van, and I just wrapped my van in like extremely crazy designs like that. Like it'll be like green and black, lightning, or camouflage, like young Dolph camouflage, or something like that, just to like draw attention, get people asking questions. Then you can get the business easier. And that doesn't involve, you know, learning how to create content, paying for a website, all this and that. It's like a one-time expense. I'd say it's the most valuable expense a business can make. That's the reason I'm in business. Everybody's branding their vehicles so that they could get clients. I mean, when you talk about like a website, it's a little bit harder to pull in clients, but when you talk about just branding some type of vehicle or something like that, it's a one-time expense. You can write it off as a business cost. And if it's your personal vehicle, it's like, cool. Now your personal vehicle has like this race livery, but it's got your business on it. So you're killing 2 birds in 1 stone. You're getting a nice write-off and a wrap on your personal vehicle. Or you could just do it on a company vehicle. If you ask me, it's the best advertisement. Other than, you know, making reels go viral, stuff like that. You're looking to have conversations with people in public. Yeah, a vinyl wrap, a business wrap, is gonna be one of the best things. Yeah, bro. That used to be my M4. Now it's just midnight gold. And I still get people asking me like about the midnight gold. So you could go with a solid color if you don't want to be too extreme. It's just got to be a color that would never actually be seen on that type of car. And people will be like, wait, did that come from the factory like that? Anything gloss, it's got to be a color that people's never seen. If it's satin, people are going to know, like, that's not a regular paint job. Like, what is that? Because obviously there's no cars out there that's just painted satin. Like, it's rare that you see that. For the ones who do paint their cars satin, they got a lot of money. Because that's not easy. That's not like a cheap paint job. My car is midnight gold. It's on my Instagram page. You have to scroll down my timeline, but it's on my Instagram page. But it goes gold. It goes like shifts from like gold to black. Pretty dope. I like it. It's probably my favorite wrap. Like, I didn't have to be too extreme with it. And it still looks good. Since I had like the company vehicle. There we go. Same thing with this. Just tucking it in as much as we can. This has this weird caulking, so I just have to cut it on the caulking. Typically I would cut it at the metal, but it's not like I could tuck it under anything if it's got caulking in the way. Or not even caulking, this is seam sealer, I think. Whatever it is. It's annoying and it's sticky. The vinyl likes to stick to it a lot. So we just cut around that. The vinyl doesn't even want to come off of it. All right, so now that we got that taken care of, good. Put this back together. Imagination running wild. It'd be like that, bro. And the crazy part is you're always gonna have a new idea. And honestly, that's the worst because you'll never be done wrapping your car. Like you're gonna want to rewrap your car every 6 months once you actually learn how to do it. So I'm just grabbing a screwdriver right now. I gotta put these back in. Like I said, we got no seams, man. This is the way you typically would work around stuff on a trailer. Everything is taped off with blue tape. Can't be disassembling stuff unless you are an electrician. You know how to rewire this stuff back together, which I don't know how to do. And I'm not gonna try and mess up my client's car, so we work around it. In this rare occasion, this piece right here, we actually didn't need to work around. I mean, we still had to work around this piece, but it's a little bit better because I could disassemble it down a little bit and squeeze it through a hole, this hole that I made, and create a seamless effect. So I can't remember. I think the other plate goes on before this. Let's see. Yeah, I think this plate goes on. Plate on. And then this probably goes on the back side. Good. And push all these wires back in so we don't create no type of short circuit from smashing them. I could screw this back in. Get this back in there. So yeah, we created our hole. The hole is now covered up. Pretty simple. So now I get the rest of the stuff to put it back together, which is 3 little bolts. Throw the light bulb back in there. right. I hear that. Artists never saw it playing. Yeah, it'd be like that, man. It'd be like that for real. Alright, so I'm gonna need a smaller screwdriver. Pretty sure this plate right here is to cover up dirt. Keep the dirt out. So we got this little plastic piece. Put that in here. Oh, it goes over top. Bottom. Got one small screw. Assuming that goes up here. Ah! Alright, it's gonna be a little harder than I thought. Take my gloves off. Try to pull this tab out a little bit. Alright, pull it out a little bit so I get access to that hole a little easier. We could try this again. So there we go. I just got to get the bottom two in. Try something on my latest furniture piece. I'm thinking struggle, sell it, but by far my favorite. Yeah, man, I've done some cool stuff. Even Christmas time, like my mom wanted like a little mini refrigerator wrapped or whatever. I've done stuff like that. Came out really cool, so don't sleep on wrapping the refrigerator stuff. Or the, you know, basic living stuff. The stuff comes out pretty nice. I've wrapped kitchen counters, walls, floors, sinks, like all types of stuff, man. All of it comes out good pretty much every time. I'm missing a bolt. I don't know where it went. I'm not gonna make y'all sit here. Let me do that. So let's put this last decal on, and I'll find a bolt after the stream fell into one of those cracks. So with this, the way I find the middle of this pretty easy is I'm gonna go from this bolt to the same bolt on the other side. I'm gonna lay it down. I'm gonna pull a little tension. I get a straight line, lay it down in the same spot, rip my tape. So now that I did that, I want to cut in the same spot, which is this gray trim on both sides. And then how I find the center is I take this and I fold it all the way to that other end on this side. If it lines up, that's where my center is. How do I know it lines up? Because it's basically right split down the middle of this middle brake light. So I'm gonna cut it right there. So I got my center. Now I want to find the center of this decal right here. Sinks, yeah. Kitchen and bathroom. I've done them all. You'll be surprised what people ask for. So now that I got this, I want to find the center of this piece. So I'm gonna cut it right at the letters on each side. I'm gonna fold it over until I can see the letter is touching the other side. Put a little crease in the middle. And now I got the center on this piece. So what I like to use instead of like, you know, you can use tape if you really want to. But I like to just, I'm gonna grab a Sharpie from over here. I'm gonna just mark it. I know where my center is on this. I'm gonna go back over here. And I'm gonna set 2 pieces of tape up where the center is. On the top and bottom. Then I can remove this. Come over here, I grab my decal, right? I peel it halfway. You could peel it, you could do it how you do it. I've been doing this so long, I just don't waste time anymore. I used to peel it halfway, whatever it may be. But I know I need to get my line matched up to this top piece and to this bottom piece, which that's lined up right there. So I could kind of eyeball it now and know that, all right, this is level. But if you need like a for sure reading on if it's level or not, you could use a laser. I used to use that also. Don't anymore. I've done like 100 of these. So this has some curve to it. So you want to lay down the middle first. Get all the slack. And then you want to go back and finish off the upper pieces. The bottom doesn't really have like a lot of curve to it. Just want to lift it, feed it down. Once you do that, you can peel it. Make sure you peel it slow though. Sometimes the letters don't stick like they're supposed to, and they'll peel up with it, and you can rip a letter in half or something like that. So don't just go snatching this thing off. Pull it nice and slow. Doesn't matter if you pull it side to side or top down. Doesn't matter. See, we just pulled that whole one top down, and then we can pull this one from the side. Sound back. Hopefully the sound's back. But yeah, this is how it should look. This is completely done. Looks really nice. Throw a like in the chat if you think I did a good job. If you feel like you learned something today. Feel like I provided you value on how to do a commercial wrap. But yeah, man, like I said, these are the films I use. This is what my car is wrapped in, by the way, Dale. It's midnight gold. It's like these weird effects to it. I don't know if I don't have any sunlight in here. Oh, here goes the sunlight. Is it? It's like weird. It's like black and gold. Switches back and forth. But yeah, all these brands are 3M, Avery, custom printed 3M, Hexus, Orifol. All this stuff is cast film. It's really easy to apply. This is what you want basically for a wrap shop. You don't want to be doing calendar every day because that's going to cause you to have slow install time and only be able to do like one car for the whole week. So that's what you want to use. But like I said again, this is the job. It's all wrapped up. Gonna have the customer come and pick it up today here in a few. I'm about to go hit the gym, man. Done for the weekend. Like I said, if y'all like it, throw a like in the chat. If you want to shadow me, I do lives like this all the time. So go ahead and give me a follow. I have content, long form stuff that could teach you how to wrap. Other than that, I'll just see you guys on the next live. Can't remember what I'm doing. I think I'm doing 2 trucks, one commercial, one just a regular color change. So I'll tune back in, let you guys see the process on that. I'll see you guys next time though.